What if I told you that Nikola Tesla developed a technology capable of transmitting electrical energy freely to any point on the planet, without wires, without cables, without limits, but that someone made sure it never reached your hands? Imagine a world where there were no electricity bills, where energy flowed through the air like invisible waves, powering entire cities. Do you believe something like that could simply disappear? Or was it deliberately erased from history? Today, we're going to delve into the shadows of humanity's greatest forgotten genius and unravel the mystery behind the technology that could have changed everything. Are you ready to discover what they don't want you to know? Then take a deep breath, because from now on, nothing will be the same. To understand what really happened, we need to go back in time. New York, turn of the 19th to the 20th century. The streets were beginning to be illuminated by electric lamps, but electricity was still a luxury of the rich, confined to large cities. And at the center of this electrical revolution, two titans waged a silent war for the future of humanity. On one side, Thomas Edison and his direct current. On the other, a Serbian immigrant with penetrating eyes and a brilliant mind, Nikola Tesla, defending alternating current. Have you ever stopped to think about how many invisible battles shaped the world you know today? Tesla won that war. His alternating current powered the first hydroelectric plants, illuminated entire cities, and became the world standard. But for Tesla, that was just the beginning. He saw beyond what others could see. While the world celebrated cables and poles crisscrossing continents, Tesla looked to the sky and asked, "What if we didn't need any of that? What if the Earth itself could become a giant conductor of energy?" In 1899, Tesla moved to Colorado Springs, an isolated town in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. There, far from prying eyes and corporate interests, he built a laboratory that seemed straight out of a Gothic nightmare, a wooden structure topped by a 60-meter-high metal tower. Locals whispered about the strange lights that danced in the sky at night, about artificial thunder that echoed through the mountains, about the smell of ozone that permeated the air. What on earth was Tesla creating in that godforsaken place? It was there that his ultimate obsession was born, the worldwide wireless power transmission system, or as he himself called it, the Wardenclyffe Tower. Can you imagine the audacity of that vision? Tesla didn't just want to transmit wireless energy for a few meters. No. He wanted to use the Earth's ionosphere itself as a natural conductor, transforming the entire planet into a gigantic electrical circuit. Anyone, anywhere in the world could simply install a receiver and have unlimited access to energy. For free, without meters, without bills, without control. But how would that be possible? Tesla discovered that the Earth possessed a natural resonant frequency, something that decades later would be confirmed and called the Schumann resonance. He realized that by sending electrical pulses at the exact frequency, he could make the Earth itself vibrate and conduct energy. It was like playing a musical note that would make the entire planet sing in harmony. Sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? But Tesla was convinced it would work, and perhaps, just perhaps, he proved it. In 1901, with funding from the magnate J.P. Morgan, Tesla began building his masterpiece on Long Island, the Wardenclyffe Tower, an imposing structure 57 meters high, with roots that penetrated deep into the earth. But do you realize what's happening here? One of the most powerful men in America was funding a technology that could destroy the entire electricity business model. Why would Morgan do this? Did he really believe in Tesla? Or was there something more sinister behind this investment? Now imagine for a moment. What would happen if Tesla's technology actually worked? Close your eyes and visualize a world completely different from the one we know. Can you do it? Because the implications are so profound that it's difficult to even fully comprehend them all. First, the obvious, the end of energy poverty. Think of the favelas of Rio de Janeiro, the remote villages of Africa, the isolated communities of the Amazon. Today, billions of people live without reliable access to electricity. But in Tesla's world, every hut, every shack, every home, no matter how remote or forgotten, would have unlimited access to energy. Without the need for expensive infrastructure, without the need for cables crossing oceans and forests. The energy would simply be there, in the air, available, free. Have you ever stopped to think about how many lives this would save? How many children could study at night? How many hospitals could operate in remote areas? But the transformation went far beyond that. Think about the Industrial Revolution we experienced. Every great leap forward in humanity was made possible by access to energy, the steam engine, oil, electricity. Now multiply that by 1,000. With free and unlimited energy, the production costs of absolutely everything would plummet. Food, transportation, manufacturing, technology, everything would become drastically cheaper. Scarcity, that concept that governs the entire world economy, would simply cease to exist in many sectors. Does that scare you or excite you? And what about electric vehicles? Today they rely on expensive and heavy batteries with limited range. But imagine a car that constantly feeds on ambient energy while moving. No stops to recharge, no distance limit. Tesla predicted this in 1926 when he presented a modified Pierce arrow that, according to witnesses, ran for an entire week without any visible power source. Coincidence? Or a glimpse of what could have been? Think also about the environment. Right now, as you watch this, tons of carbon are being released into the atmosphere by thermal power plants. Entire forests are flooded to build hydroelectric dams. Deserts are covered with solar panels. Mountains are excavated in search of lithium for batteries. But what if none of this were necessary? What if we could simply extract energy from the Earth's own ionosphere, a literally infinite and clean resource? The climate change we fear so much today could have been avoided more than 100 years ago. But here's the part that really changes everything. The end of corporate control over energy. Today, a few companies control the generation and distribution of energy worldwide. They decide how much you pay. They decide who has access and who is left in the dark. They profit billions while families choose between paying the electricity bill or buying food. In Tesla's world, that power simply disappears. No one could charge for something that is freely available in the air. Do you think the most powerful people in the world would allow that to happen? Do you think they would stand idly by while their greatest instrument of control and profit evaporated? And there's more. Tesla also promised global wireless communication through the same system. Imagine free and universal internet in 1901. Information flowing freely, without censorship, without government control, without barriers. Every person on the planet connected, empowered, informed. What kind of world would that create? A world of freedom and prosperity? Or a world where the powerful lose their control over the masses? And then, in 1903, it all crumbled. Suddenly, mysteriously, JP Morgan cut off funding, without clear explanations. Without warnings. Tesla pleaded, argued, promised imminent results. But Morgan was inflexible. The Wardenclyffe Tower remained unfinished, an empty shell of a murdered dream. Why would one of the richest men in the world simply abandon an investment that promised to transform all of civilization? The official answer is simple: lack of viable financial return. But do you really believe that? Let's connect the dots. Morgan wasn't just any investor. He controlled an empire that included railroads, steel, and most importantly, electricity. He had massive stakes in electric power companies that made billions selling electricity through wires and meters. Now, put yourself in his shoes. Tesla comes to you with a technology that would make your business model completely obsolete. A technology that would allow people to access energy for free, without going through your meters, without paying your bills. Would you finance your own destruction? Or would you feign support while ensuring that the technology never saw the light of day? But there's something even darker about all this. Did you know that during the experiments in Colorado Springs, Tesla claimed to have picked up signals from extraterrestrial intelligence? He described complex mathematical patterns coming from space, messages that couldn't possibly be natural. The press ridiculed him. Scientists mocked him. But what if Tesla really had discovered something? What if wireless transmission technology could do more than just send energy? What if it could open doors to dimensions that humanity wasn't prepared to face? There are unconfirmed reports that Tesla's experiments caused massive interference in electronic equipment miles away. Compasses spun uncontrollably. Telegraphs fired off random messages. Animals behaved strangely, as if they sensed something invisible in the air. The military began to pay attention, because a technology that could transmit energy could also transmit something more lethal. Have you ever thought about that? An electromagnetic weapon capable of frying all the electronic circuits of an entire city. Or worse, of interfering with the electrical impulses of the human brain itself. In 1914, something strange happened. The United States government began monitoring Tesla closely. Agents appeared at his experiments. Documents disappeared from his laboratory. And then, in 1917, the Wardenclyffe Tower was dynamited, officially to pay Tesla's debts. But think about it. Why destroy something instead of simply confiscating and studying it? unless someone wanted to be absolutely certain that that technology would never be replicated. Tesla spent the last 26 years of his life isolated in a New York hotel room, growing increasingly paranoid, claiming he was being watched, that his papers were being stolen at night, that invisible forces were working against him. Senile madness? Or the truth of a man who knew too much? When he died in 1943, FBI agents raided his room before his body had even cooled. They confiscated all his documents, all his projects, all his notes. Everything was classified as a state secret and disappeared into the government archives. Why the urgency? What exactly were they looking for? Or rather, what did they want to make sure no one else would find? The official explanation has always been the same. Tesla's technology was theoretically interesting, but impractical. It didn't work. It was the dream of an idealist. But then why classify everything as secret? Why confiscate blueprints of a technology that supposedly doesn't work? And why, even today, more than 80 years later, does a large part of these documents remain inaccessible to the public? What are they hiding? And more importantly, from whom are they hiding them? And this is where things get really disturbing. Because the more you investigate, the more questions arise. And some of the answers are hard to believe, but they would be impossible to ignore. There's a theory, whispered in circles of researchers and conspiracy theorists, that Tesla's technology not only worked, but worked too well. So well that it was secretly appropriated and developed by shadowy governments and organizations. Have you heard of Project HARP in Alaska? An official military installation that supposedly studies the ionosphere, but uses the exact same principles theorized by Tesla, sending high-frequency electromagnetic waves into the upper atmosphere. Coincidence? Or the realization of the nightmare Tesla accidentally created? Some believe HARP can manipulate the weather, cause earthquakes, or even influence the mental states of entire populations. Does that sound absurd to you? Or frighteningly plausible? But let's go deeper. There's an event known as the Tunguska event in 1908, a massive explosion in Siberia that felled 80 million trees across an area of more than 2,000 square kilometers. The official explanation: a meteor or comet that exploded in the atmosphere. But here's the disturbing detail. No crater was found. No meteor fragments, nothing. And Tesla in that same year was conducting experiments with long-range energy transmission. He had told friends that he could send energy to any point on the planet. Did he test it? Did something go terribly wrong? Or did he prove that his directed energy weapon worked perfectly, so frightening the world powers that they decided to bury him forever? There's more. Are you familiar with the Philadelphia experiment? Supposedly conducted by the United States Navy in 1943, the same year Tesla died. The claim is that they managed to make a warship invisible using massive electromagnetic fields based on Tesla's theories. Witnesses reported that the ship disappeared and reappeared miles away, but with horrific side effects. Crew members fused with the metal structure, others driven insane, some simply vanished. The government vehemently denies this. But why was Tesla so interested in electromagnetic fields and their interactions with matter? Did he know something he didn't tell us? Did he discover how to bend the very fabric of reality? And here's something that will make you question everything. After Tesla's death, who was assigned to analyze his confiscated documents? A young engineer named John G. Trump. Do you recognize that last name? Uncle of Donald Trump, the former president of the United States. John Trump publicly stated that Tesla's papers contained nothing of practical value. But did he really read everything? Or did he see something so dangerous that he had to lie to protect humanity? Or to protect the interests of those who control the world? And was this knowledge passed down through the Trump family? Would that explain certain connections and political decisions? Or are we entering the territory of paranoia? There are also persistent rumors that Soviet Russia managed to obtain some of Tesla's original designs through espionage, that they secretly developed scalar weapons based on his technology, that the unexplained blackouts, atmospheric anomalies, and strange weather patterns we see today are not natural, but the result of a silent war waged in the ionosphere. A war you can't see but that shapes the world around you. Have you ever felt that something isn't right with the weather? That the patterns no longer make sense? Is it climate paranoia? Or are you unconsciously perceiving something real? And then there's the darkest theory of all. Some believe Tesla didn't die of natural causes, that he was silenced because he was about to reveal everything to the public. In his final days, he supposedly told confidants that he had developed a weapon of peace so powerful it would make all wars impossible. A death ray capable of shooting down planes miles away, of pulverizing entire armies. He claimed to have offered this to the American government, but was ignored. Or was he? What if they accepted, but then decided that no one, not even Tesla, could know they possessed such power? So now I ask you, what if all this had happened differently? What if JP Morgan had continued funding Tesla? What if the Wardenclyffe Tower had been completed and activated in that distant year of 1903? What would the world be like today? You would be watching this video on a device powered by free energy flowing through the air. There would be no wars over oil because oil would be irrelevant. There would be no energy billionaires because energy could not be sold. Perhaps poverty as we know it wouldn't exist. Or perhaps we would have already destroyed ourselves with electromagnetic weapons we can't even imagine. The truth is, we'll never know. The documents remain locked away. The questions remain unanswered. But sometimes, on quiet nights, when the lights flicker inexplicably, when your cell phone mysteriously loses signal, when you feel that strange electricity in the air before a storm, you have to wonder, has Tesla's technology really disappeared? Or is it being used right now, above our heads, in the invisible ionosphere, by people who would prefer you never discover the truth? Sleep well tonight, if you can. Because now you know. Or at least you suspect. And once you start seeing the patterns, it's impossible to stop looking for them. The question is, are you ready to find out how deep this hole goes? Or would you rather return to comfortable ignorance? The choice has always been yours. Or was it? Look. If you've made it this far, it's because something resonated with you. Maybe it's curiosity. Maybe it's that feeling that there's more between heaven and earth than we're told. And that's exactly why I keep bringing you these stories. Not the ones everyone knows, but the ones that have remained hidden in the subtext of official history. If this dive into the shadows of the past resonated with you, leave a like. Not for the like itself, but because it helps me understand that this type of content resonates with those who seek more than just the surface. And if you want to continue exploring these mysteries with me, subscribe to the channel. Every week there's a new story that will make you question what you thought you knew. Oh, and leave a comment saying, "The truth is out there." That way I know you stayed until the end and absorbed this entire journey. Who knows, maybe we can exchange some ideas there about other technologies that have mysteriously disappeared. And since we're on this topic, there's a video over here about other inventors who disappeared along with their discoveries. Click there and stick around, because this rabbit hole goes much deeper than you think. Until the next revelation.